Hi there, everybody. JonseyG here. I've got a confession for all of you. I was raised almost feral. After talking to one of my family members, I've come to the conclusion that she's right. With a manic depressive mother who had bipolar and a pedophile father, I didn't get the skills that I needed to live in a productive human society. Meridia wants to be here because she knows that this is a very hard topic for me. And it is, because instead of getting the skills I needed, people just put me on medication. They just wanted to put me on Lexapro or Meloril or Haldol, use me, abuse me, and throw away the key. And the only person that really cared anything for me was my grandmother Lois. And by the time I got to live with Lois, my grandmother, my beloved grandmother, she had already been diagnosed with leukemia. 5 years is not enough time to live with her. I only got 5 years because I went to live with her in 1995 after living in Florida and living by myself in a very opulent house. It was a rich person's house right on the golf course. It was a beautiful house, but I was living there by myself because my sister, rightly so, emancipated herself because she couldn't stand it anymore. And my mother was in a mental hospital because she lost herself somewhere down the line. And this wouldn't be the last time that she did. But that's a whole other ball of wax. And our father, who I'm not going to even call a father because he was a pedophile. His name was Bob, and that's what I'm going to call him. He was already in jail. I guess because Mom decided to, I was passed around to different friends of Mom's. I met some interesting people. I went to an Eagles concert. I helped a friend have her Great Dane give birth. But the sad state of it all, my best friend had a restraining order put on them, and through no fault of their own. And I was living in once they finally decided to stop passing me around like luggage, I was living in a house by myself. And Department of Children and Families came to the house, and I showed them my pathetic bedroom, which my mother had taken all of my stuff out of my room and put it in the living room. And all I was left with was a mattress on the floor and a lamp and a desk table or whatever to do my homework on. That's all I was allowed to have in my room. And I was in such a bad way that I didn't know how to live, and I didn't know what to do with my life. And yes, I was suicidal, so I know how that feels. But luckily enough for all of us, I didn't do anything. However, it's unfortunate, but I had to try to raise myself. And I couldn't. When Mom was still in the house, I would steal my lunch money. Not so much that I would get caught, just enough to be able to eat lunch for that day. And what's really shameful is I found out much, much later that she at one point in time had $13 million. Yeah, we were a rich family. But you know what? I didn't see any of that, because when you're a kid, you're told, put it in the bank, you'll get it when you're 18. That never happened. My mother had squandered it. And when my grandmother went to go get it, it was already gone. So I was taken advantage of by a number of different family members, and I was many a time left on my own to try to figure things out. And that's not how you're supposed to be raised. At least that's not a human trait, to be raised that way. And being on the autistic spectrum and being raised in that kind of environment is not something I'm very proud of, but it's something I'm having to learn to live with. And I know there are other people out there like you who might be watching that really need help to find out what's going on. And that's where I come in. I've been there. I've lived it. I'm not going to just sweep it under the carpet and say, been there, done that, I know what's going on. Because I'm genuinely getting emotional, because I do know what's going on, and I do know what it's like. And you're not alone. Meridia and I are here with you. And we're going to help you get through it. We're going to see all of us through this journey together. I may have been raised feral, but I'm not feral anymore. I'm finding myself, and I'm learning how to survive. Most, not all, but most of my family is gone now. And I'm learning how to take care of myself the proper way. And let me speak to those that can't. You're going to be okay. How do I know that? Because you're like me. You're a survivor. And you'll be okay. Because after all these years, I can honestly say to you, to my family, to myself, I'm finally starting to be okay. It's taken me a very long time. I'm not there yet. I'm far from there. I'm not going to say I'm going to be awesome. I can just say right now that I'm going to be okay. And so are you. JonseyG, peace out.